is what's happening in Ireland, because Ireland, being such a great nation and having so many great patriots and having done so much for the United States of America with our with the families that came over here, including my own family, Ireland is seen like the most far gone of all the countries in the EU, in a political class that completely sold out these fantastic people to Brussels. Malachy Steenson joins us from a nationalist that won a seat on the Dublin City Council and gave a couple of amazing speeches right afterwards. Is the concept of nationalism, which I thought was the Irish Rebellion was about, 1916 was this fierce Irish nationalism, is that now coming back, sir? Because it seems like the political class in Ireland has sold out body and soul to the party of Davos.
Good afternoon, Steve. Thanks for having me on. I think for many years, Irish nationalism has been swept under the counter, and we've been run by a collection of careerist politicians who are beholden to the European Union and, and to themselves. They're not particularly concerned about the Irish nation or the Irish history or the Irish culture, which many people will be aware in America will be aware of. And my own background, my grandparents joined the Republican movement in 1913, 1914, and fought in 1916. And our family has continued in that tradition. And the main objective of that rising in 1916 was the sovereignty of the Irish people and the right of our people to determine its own destiny. The decisions that relate to the Irish people should be made in Ireland by Irish elected representatives, not by somebody in Europe, not by somebody in Brussels or anywhere else, or in London for that matter, but made in Ireland by Irish people. And we have seen a huge revival in the nationalist movement, particularly since November 2022, when the impact of the huge immigration crisis that was coming ahead of us was realised by some people. And it started off in a small part of the northeast inner city of Dublin, in East Wall, when the state decided to put in almost 400 single male migrants from God knows where into an office building. And they've tried to do that in many towns and villages around the country. They've taken over a huge amount of hotels. So when our American friends come over here to visit, there'll be barely a hotel space left for them because the state has block booked them all to put in immigrants who are mainly economic migrants who claim political asylum. And we've now, one of the things we pointed out in November 2022 was that many of them were coming from the United Kingdom, just travelling over, somehow losing their passports between getting on the plane and getting off and presenting for asylum. We were told, the political class here keeps telling us we have a moral and a legal responsibility to somebody coming from a far-flung place that never heard of Ireland. We have no responsibility, and if we have a legal responsibility, well, it's time to change the law. We have no moral responsibility to anybody outside of our own nation, particularly at a time, and this is one of the issues that is at the heart of this whole debate. It's down to capacity. The political class have never developed this country in line with the increase in population. We have a huge house